So, tell me about the days leading up to the Queen Mary. What happened in those days before? So, did Johnny send you word that all the war brides were going over on the Queen Mary, or how did that? I mean, explain that to me.
Well, they took us to a place called Bournemouth, which is a big seaside place at home, and they processed all the papers and gave you shots if you hadn't had shots and stuff and all that. They processed all that stuff, to come, and then they took us by train to Portsmouth, where the Queen Mary docks. She can't go into too many ports because she was big, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went to Southampton. No, Southampton, yeah, to Southampton, and and yeah, it was Southampton, and there, we got on the ship. I mean, that was where the Queen Mary was docked.
How many people?
There was 600 babies and 1,000 wives.
Oh wow! So tell me about the rooms and stuff. Were they?
Oh, they had them fixed up with bunks for because they carried thousands of troops over. And the reason that the Queen Mary and uh, Queen Elizabeth, the ships, because they could outrun the U-boats, and also they cut one in half, and Queen Mary did a U-boat,
Oh
which
wow!
is a German submarine.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that out later that that's the reason that you know. But anyway, uh, we got up at Southampton. That's when we got on the ship, and that's where we left.
How many days were you on the ship?
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
5 days took us to cross. She had the crossing record for it, crossing the Atlantic in 5 days. So we were on board for 5 days.
What did y'all do while y'all were on the ship?
Well, they had a movie theater there, and they had it. They had two swimming baths, but they were drained. They didn't have any water in them, and they let the women wash diapers and stuff, in there. And they had a place where you could buy Coke or candy, or they had some shops on there. What we call shops. So the first thing we did was bought some chocolate bars, and you could buy a box of it. And then, like I said, we watched movies. And then we'd go down. It was a two or three flights down. I don't know where, but we went to eat. And every time we tried to go down to where the eating place was, we'd get lost. Our ship was a big one. We wound up in the engine room or somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, we would go down there and eat. And when we were staying there in Bournemouth, me and this other girl, they had ice cream. They'd made ice. They started ice cream, and so she said, "Let's go get us some ice cream." So I said, "Well, yeah, it sounds good." And we got three kinds. I mean, this dish with three, and boy, we ate ice cream, and I'm telling you, we got sick. I think, well, I still don't care about ice cream, but anyway, I went back to the room. But the babies had the children had little things that hung on the side, that they could sleep in. We had bunks. Of course, it was fit for a troop carrier. They carried all the troops. Uh, it was an experience. And then we got to New York, and they took us to the train station, and the American, the one that was in charge, the people that were in charge, said that now when the train starts moving, they put us on the silver meter, which came down to Florida. said, now when this train starts moving, go back and get you something to eat. Because, we're late. So anyway, we got on the train. This girl was going to Wildwood, Florida. And we got on the train and sat there. So after a while, he told us, he said, go back and get you something to eat. So we decided we would. And we went back there and we ordered us. She said, what are we going to get? I said, I don't know. And she said, well, a sandwich would be okay. And they brought a sandwich. I bet that thing was about that tall. Oh, good gosh. What? She said, well, how do we eat it? Because, we're knife and fork people. I said, I don't know. I just pick them up, I guess. And then they, at the end of the meal, he brought round little silver bowls with water in there. And she said, what's that for? I said, I think it's for washing your fingers, but I'm not sure. I don't know whether to drink it or wash. Anyway, we got tangled with each other. We went back to our, where we coach. And these people were back there and they knew we were from England. So they were, of course, interested. And so they asked us about it and we got to explaining to them about how it was. And they laughed and they said, we'll take you into supper. So we go into supper and they get some chicken. Here comes the chicken, no fork. I thought, hey, knife and fork, and they said, just pick it up. I thought, oh boy. Well, I'll tell you, I swear that sandwich was that big. I've never seen such a... Oh, so it was really an experience. But they were, interested because we were from England. But then I went into the store when I got, here. All of our stuff is called tinned. It's tinned milk, tinned stuff, It's not canned, it's tinned. And I went to the store and I said, I need some tinned milk. She said, we don't have any. I said, well, there's a whole shelf up there. And then, it dawned. Yeah, different.
So, go ahead.
And I'd come from a town of 500,000 people, and buses anywhere and houses, populated. And come to dirt roads. And I thought, what in the world? I'm telling you. And then of all things, when I got off this train in Mark, which is not very big, it's a small place, my brother-in-law was there. And he said, are you Joyce? I said, yeah, who are you? He said, I'm Jill. I said, well, where's Johnny? Oh, he's coming. I thought, coming? So we got in the car, and I thought of it after. I didn't know that man from Adam. But anyway, I got in the car, and we started out a dirt road, And he said, there's Johnny. I said, where? And poor old Johnny was walking, hitchhiking, to get to the station. Jill had left him, didn't bother to pick him up. He came and met me.
How come?
That's the kind of smart aleck he was. That thing made me mad. But anyway, that's how me and Johnny, I came over. And then we stayed at his sister's place till we got a place for our own. But I never will forget Jill. He said, are you Joyce? I said, yeah, who are you? I said, well, where's Johnny? I've come all this far, But he had, instead of picking him up, and Johnny didn't have a car.
Where had Johnny been?
He was at his sister's house, Jill's wife. And Jill had decided he'd come on his own. I thought, I want to meet you. Don't know you. But anyway, it all straightened out. It was an experience, I'll tell you.
Well, tell me about living in Stark.
Oh, we didn't live in Stark. We lived in Lottie,
Okay.
which is a very small place, naturally.
So besides the tins and the dirt roads, the tin food and the dirt roads, tell me what else was strange and different and
Well, the first house I lived in had wooden windows.
what do you mean wooden windows?
And windows were wooden, little squares of wood you pushed out.
Hmm.
That's how houses used to have out in the country and stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie had glass windows, Granny.
Hmm?
Little House on the Prairie had glass windows.
Well, that was a movie. But they did some of the houses, not all of them, now, but there was some that was, and the one we lived in had wood. The first one had wood windows.
Okay, so you came over. David was how old?
Let's see, he's born in 43. That was 46, I guess. So war ended in 45. He's about 3, I guess. Yeah, he was 3.
Did you see Johnny in England before you came home?
Mm-mm.
I mean, before you came to
They were
America?
sent back. They left France. He was in Germany, actually. He was working prisoners of war. Cooking, and stuff. At the end, But other than that, he was driving blood up to the front. That was his, 18-wheeler. I often wondered how many lives he saved.
I bet he saved a lot.
Taking blood up there, I'm sure. Yeah.
And so y'all got married, and do you remember how long y'all were together before he got shipped out? He was there when David was born, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure. I can't even remember the month he got shipped out. I guess it was the invasion of
Was he at Normandy?
Germany.
Was he at Normandy?
Mm-hmm.
Was he at Normandy?
Yeah, Normandy. Yeah, I think it's 40. Oh, I don't know. I can't think. The war started in 39 for us. The Americans came in 41. So it was after that.
So when you got to America and you and Johnny got into your own home and stuff, did you think about what your mama had said to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You think about that a lot of times. But you can't do anything about it, so. I did get to go back one time before Daddy died, so that was good. I got to see him. And of course, I've been back several times to see. I was there when Mama died, so she was sick. So, like I said, I've been back. I don't know how many times, but David and Diane went with me one time, and then another time I went with Darlene and Chuck and Jill and John. And then my brother and his wife came over one time, and Mary's been over, and Audrey's been over, so,
Okay, well, tell me about cooking.
Oh, cooking?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had my first experience with a wood stove.
That's funny. What was that like, Granny? What did y'all cook on in England?
Oh, we had gas and electric. We had gas and electric stoves. I tried cooking on it and let the fire go out. Oh, It was rough stuff. And I cooked on those kerosene stove, and that thing smells to high heaven.
I hate the smell of kerosene.
But that wood stove, I looking at it and trying to cook something. And I didn't really know too much about the cooking over here, and that fire would go out. Rough stuff. And then Johnny's sister laughed. She's fussing because I ate French fries quite a bit because, I was used to them. He said something about it, and Johnny told her, he said, if Joyce wants to eat French fries every time, she can. I'm buying it and I'm paying, and gee whiz. But she was kind of stingy, but, well, he let her know fast.
You could eat all the French fries you wanted.
Yes, sir, I did. But that old wood stove, I'd let the thing go out, and then an old smelly kerosene. Hey. Life's experiences. Yep.
You've had some experiences, Granny.
I have. Yeah. I've lived in some old places. We lived in one house that absolutely, the old man had smoked up the fireplace. Oh, smoke. I cleaned that thing up and lived in it. And another time, we had this house and the old goats had stayed in it. I cleaned that out. Hey, Lord. Living in the country. Certainly different than living in town.
Definitely is.
Because you get out of town. I mean, we get out, get on a bus and go where we wanted to, and get another bus and go anywhere else. We were used to all and stores and stuff. So.
Well, so what child did you have next? You had David in England.
I had David, then I came over here and had Danny. Yeah. And the others followed. We lived in Middleburg for, I don't know how many years we lived in Middleburg. David was born in England. Danny and Diane were born in Highland, at home and in Florida. And then the others were born in Lodi.
So
Darlene was born in the hospital in Stark. The others were born at home.
How did that work?
Very painful. That's what people did. I mean, they didn't really go to the hospitals back then. But with Darlene I did, and with David I did. With Darlene, it was, wasn't as bad because they gave you something to do it. But David, they didn't.
Which one was the worst?
I don't know. I did think I was going to lose Doug. He was so puny, so small. And he got, what was it? Intestinal flu, I think. And he was nothing but skin and bones. And I took him to the doctor and, got some medicine stuff. And he said I'd check him in the hospital, but he said, you can do better by just keeping him, holding him. I really wondered if I'd lose him. I really did. He was a sick boy. But the others were fine. They all had their cut toes and bruised things. So